Hello, welcome back to Outmouse Labs. My name's Penny and I'm glad you're here. Today we're looking at RPG Maker MZ, and I figured I would do just kind of a basic video. It's been a while since I put one up. We're going to look at a couple of fun things. We're going to look at bridges and using the Overpass plugin that comes with RPG Maker MZ. We're also going to look at kind of a standard scene that has all the basic bells and whistles and how you make them. All right, so we're in our engine here. I just have kind of standard assets. These come from the MV Trinity pack, and I think that's where all of them are from. And I have done some of my own edits as well. Okay, other than that, we also have the MV Trinity pack audio effects, and we are going to be using several plugins are active on this one, but we're only going to be really paying attention to these two today. These two come with MZ, and you can find them fairly easy by going to Steam, Library, go down to MZ, go to Browse Local Files, you go to DLC, and I believe it is Basic Resources. Yeah, Plugins, Launch. There's a whole bunch. These are all going to be there for you, including our Overpass tiles that we're going to be using today. Okay. So if we take a look at Overpass tile, you can set a region that you want to be the overpass and a region that you want to be the entrance region. That's what we're going to be using today. I have it set to 7 and 8. If we take a look at my regions, I have 7, 7, 8, 8, 8 on our bridge. Okay. And what that allows us to do, we load it up here. That small test is just to test how a cutscene might work. I'm going to show you how that works as well today. But right now, we can go under our bridge, and we can go on our bridge, but we cannot. So, and that's done simply by putting the plugin that came with MZ into your plugins folder, activating it, and setting the regions. Very, very simple. A couple other things. We do have our basic parallaxing, I guess you could say tile parallaxing set up properly. And then we have a small animation going, a tile animation. And we have Galv's visual novel buttons going, which is quite nice. I'll show you how that works as well. Okay, by the way, in case you don't know, you can hit F4 to go full screen and back. It can be very handy. I guess just in case, you can also hit F8 to bring up your console if you start coding. This is going to be very helpful to you, and sometimes even if you're not coding. Okay, all right. I suppose one other thing, you maybe saw the frame count up in the corner. You can toggle that on and off by hitting F2. Okay, so that's how our Overpass tile works. Again, you just go to the plugin manager and turn on Overpass tile, which you can find in your DLC basic resources. All right, that's it for that one. Next up, you can see how this rock has a little bit of semi-transparency. This is actually really easy to do. The way you do that is create a tile set, a custom tile set for your game. And to do that, you're going to go to wherever your game is, in my case, right here. You're going to go to Image, you're going to go to Tile Set, and you're going to create a 768 by 768 transparent file. I'm using Aspert, but you could use any image software that will allow you to do transparency. So if we were to make a new one, it would be 768 by 768 and then transparent. By default, you also probably want to turn on your grid settings. It's going to be 48 by 48 by default, and that's going to give you the size of a single tile. Now this is configurable in MZ. If you go to System 2, you can set the size of your tile. Just make sure that your grid matches your tile size. All right, once you're inside, to get all of these resources, you're just going to open up a default tile set. So for instance, that rock I got from, I believe, D outside B. So we open it up, turn on our grid, and I'm also going to turn on grid snapping. Okay, find our rock, which is right there. And I've hit M to go into my tool that allows me to grab rectangles, right? So rectangle tool, grab a hold of it, go into the custom one I made. Imagine this could be blank if I had just made it. And we're going to go here. We're going to line it up. If you have snapping on, it's going to go straight there. Actually, this is slightly darker than the base rock. And then see how this is a little bit transparent? Well, to do that, all you have to do is hit Shift in this program to create a new layer. Set that layer to 50% or so. Close it out. Go to your base layer. Make sure you have your... You can actually do this with a rectangle or a lasso. If you want to do the lasso, it'll be a little bit more... You can make it a little bit more watery by making it a little bit less of a square. And just make sure you don't grab a hold of any of the other tile. There you go. You hit Control X to cut it out. Go to your layer that's smaller. Hit Control N. It's going to go right there. Notice it is now just a little bit grayed out. And you might have to clean it up a bit. So for instance, and let's be on your base level, or this shadow doesn't make sense now. So we're going to clean that up. All right, so that's now partially transparent. We are going to flatten out. It's going to make our PNG flat again. We're going to hit save. And if we go into our game, we go to database, tile sets, wherever you've put it. I put it in outside D. Go to your new one and set its passage. I don't want it to be passable. And now, when we go over to D, you can see our new rock. There's our old rock, which we can stick... Oh, let's replace this one. I guess we have to replace it with water first. Replace this one. So now, as you can see, because it's semi-transparent, you can see the water through it. Now, technically, there is a bit of a glitch there. And if you really are looking, you'll notice it. I'll show it to you. But the average person isn't... And what it is... Oh, one second. What it is that you can see the floor of the water because it is semi-transparent, right? So you can see the floor of the water. But I think it looks pretty good, and it allows you to look like your rock is touching the bottom of the water with very little effort. And I think it looks nice. So there you go. Okay. Next up, these barrels are an example of what we call clumping. Clumping is really simple as well. So clumping is just taking a base resource and combining it with other base resources or copies of itself to make it look nicer. So by default, we just had the one barrel, but by putting them close together like this, it gives us a whole nother asset. Same with these boxes. It was a single box, and I was able to make another asset out of it. This is clumping where I had the box, the label, and the the pots, the terracotta, and really create something new. Same here. All of these weapons were added to an empty box and with the shield, and it looks great. So that's clumping. You can do that if you're interested. You can also create basic tile lights by having semi-transparent light effects. And what you do is you put these into your game and set their tile location as star, which is above player. And then when the player walks under them, you will see them. So like your player will be lit up by them. I can show you that real fast, even though it doesn't make sense for it to be here. Let's do this. We'll create a new room. Just basic for the purposes of showing. Inside, we'll call it debug inside. Very, very creative. Floors. We're going to bring our player inside of here because we're just trying to show how this works. And we're going to go to our D. And I'm going to grab one of these. Okay. How about one of them? There we go. Imagine there's like a wall or a window here. For the sake of argument, we'll do this. There you go. Now you can kind of see that that's the idea. And just to make sure it's set up properly, we're going to go to inside D and look over at our lights. There we are. And they were not, so we'll make sure those are starred. Okay. So now if we go in, and our characters go in the light, and you can see them being impacted by it. Now again, there is an obvious small glitch here. If a character was standing here, they should block the rest of the light. And there are ways to do this better, but this is a very quick way to get some parallax effect that looks pretty good. Okay. Well, since we're in here and I did that, so here is my menu. My menu has a background. It has a nice setup for each character. I have it set for 4. I have also done it set for 2, which is very easy to do. We have our location, our money, and 3 rows of clickable buttons where we can say go into our bestiary or go into our equipment. And it looks really nice. So we can talk about how we did that too. Okay, so that is that. Bringing our character back over here. All right, next up, let's go over the cutscene next. So our cutscene is triggered by a below character player touch event. It runs a common event, start cutscene, then it has the dialogue, then it restarts the background music and sounds, and ends our cutscene. If you go into our common events, and I do recommend making a few common events that are utility, it'll save you a ton of time in the long run. So to start our cutscene, we gather our followers, we fade out our screen, we fade out our background music and sound, we turn on our cutscene flag, we turn our followers off, we turn our transparency on, and we add in our black bars. We wait 60 seconds, which is the same amount of time we have set this to take, and then we fade in the screen. When we in the cutscene, we fade out our screen, we gather our followers, we turn off our cutscene flag, we turn our followers back on, our transparency back off, we erase our black bars, and we fade in. So it's basically the opposite. As you kind of already saw, but now we're kind of paying attention to it, and I won't rush through quite as fast. We hit our cutscene, we fade out, it fades out. We see our dummy characters. They talk, and then we're back. Okay, how did we do the characters? Well, they're right here, and you can see that they exist if the cutscene switches on and if they are in the party. And that is the same for both of them, right? So that is how we did that. Very simple. And I believe that is it. So that is the basics of a cutscene. Where did those black bars come from? As you probably saw, they are a picture. So insert picture. We go in here, black bars, this is just in our pictures folder, and all this is a file that is the right size. In my case, 1104 by 624, I think it is. Whatever I set the resolution to. Yep, 1104 by 624, and then down here, here is my black bars. All I did was make a blank picture that size and add in black bars that are properly sized. Sure what it's doing there. I think that's a glitch on the part of the program. So these black bars are just sized to fit the screen properly. The bottom one is the one that's important. It's sized to be exactly the same size as my window. Okay, close that out. Close that out, and that out. By making it the same size of the window, when I have my dialogue, I can set my dialogue to transparent and bottom, and it gives that effect of it's part of the cutscene movie. I like having the bars because it's like when a film school film zooms into that 16 by 10 typically, sometimes 16 by 9. And so this kind of masks that or gives that as an idea. You could use some screen filters or screen tinting to really make it sparkle potentially. Actually, we can check that out real fast. So we're going to run our cutscene. And we are going to do tint screen in one frame. We're not going to wait. We're going to go to sepia. So as it comes in, hopefully it'll be pretty instantaneous. We'll take a look. Okay, well, you'd want to change it, but you can see the sepia effect. It really does start to look like a film, which is really nice. So there you go. And obviously you would want to turn the sepia off at that point. So, and to do that, you would just, in your cutscene, you go here and you would set it to normal. Okay. You'd probably want to play with that a little bit so it wasn't quite so jarring. Probably what you'd want to do is add it to your common event before the scene fades in, or something similar. You might want to decide that all of your cutscenes have a grainy texture or something like that. All right, so there we go. Apply. All right, so there's our cutscene. Nothing special with the chest. It's just the basic chest. In case you don't happen to know, quick event creation treasure allows you to do this, and then you can modify from there. One really cool modification you can make is to use TSR map pop-ups. That's a plugin, and it comes with a cool plugin command. All you do is go to 3, plugin command, and set it up using the setup. So for instance, a gold pop-up, you would set the amount. 0 is for the player, and you would say 200, and you would say that the gold icon is whatever you want it to be, which for me would be, just to show you what it looks like here, 313. Gold icon 313. And okay, you would actually get rid of this and get rid of this because you're not going to need it now. And just to really show you TSR map pop-ups, not a lot to do. I like to increase this. I think it's hard to read in 1 second, so I set it to 2 seconds. Okay, and again, that is called TSR map pop-ups. You can find it online. It's great. For convenience sake, I'm going to do this. What this does, and I think it just looks really slick. It really kind of gives your game some personality. What's that? Cool, huh? Let's see. Anything else I want to show you offhand? This is just a standard tile animation. We set the animation. We turn on stepping and direction fix. And you can set the same as character or above character it is smoke. That would make sense too. Anything else? I think that's about it. Maybe one more small bit of plugin that I think is really, really nice. This one comes from Galv. It is the Galv action indicator. And what you do is a comment command anywhere in the active event. This is what you need to put: action icon, ID, and the icon ID to use for the indicator and the offset. By default, you're going to have an offset of 10. So we will go ahead and just stick that in a new event just to show you how it works. We're going to put a secret here. And I don't really like to have like truly like there's no indication type of secrets. I know that is classic, but it's just not for me. So there we go. That's there. We are going to say same as characters, action button, and we'll do another TSR pop-up. Why not? So we'll do that. Here's our map pop-ups. We'll do an item this time. Let's go pick an item. It should be potions to be number 7. Yep. And we'll set our action icon to, there is treasure there, so we'll do one of these two. We'll do this one, 210. 210 and 7. Item ID 7. Item quantity 1. Item category item. Okay, so that's good. And ID, we said it was 210. Okay. We'll go over here. See, that little marker there tells you there's something to click on. You click on it, you get your potion. And of course, I have it set to you can get infinite potions. To prevent the infinite potions, you would simply do something like Control cell switch A, then create a new pinch with A and nothing on it. And now, when you grab it, that's it. Now, I kind of like having a sound effect for grabbing stuff. I think it's weird when there's no sound effect personally. So if you're like me, you can simply play a quick sound effect. I like the coin sound effect for randomly finding things. I think it sounds good. You can tell me what you think, if it matters or if you think it sounds better. I do. There you go. And that is a bunch of tips and tricks and small things that can really add to your game. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to learn in the comments. I'm happy to make videos like this whenever I have a chance. And I hope you have a great time making your games. Take care.